Well, welcome back, everybody. Seth is looking at his computer, doing some number crunching at this time. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody from our fifth continent. We are hosting the show, this one from Africa. We are here.
Where are we today? I forget. We Marrakesh? We in Fez?
We're in Marrakesh. We're in Marrakesh. So, yes, sir. So next week we will be hosting from our sixth continent, being Colombia. You see, we keep moving. You know, the thing is, though, I keep moving around, and
I just stay the same. I just stay the same.
It's good
All
stuff.
right,
It's
all
good
right,
stuff.
all right.
All right. But I will tell you flat out, I'm doing pretty well on the predictions here. I got Penn State playing Notre Dame tonight, and I don't think Notre Dame's got a shot.
You don't think Notre Dame's got a shot?
Nope. I think Penn State's going to roll over them. And then what I didn't realize was Texas is playing in the Cotton Bowl.
Yes.
Basically a home game for Texas.
Did you see Texas against Arizona State?
I have seen none. I have not watched a sporting event since I left the United States.
That's probably the best sporting event that you've missed, the Texas-Arizona State game.
Well, I know Arizona State came back. I did follow it, but I have not watched it.
Oh, it was great. They should have won. They got very unlucky.
So Quinn Ewers brought his draft status back up?
Number one, we don't even know if he's coming out. There's a better chance he leaves in the portal.
Much like my favorite quarterback, Carson Beck, who announced that today that he's transferring to Syracuse. No, he didn't.
You're kidding. No, he's not.
I was just kidding. He may. Who knows? In today's
He already announced he's coming in the draft.
No, he changed his mind today.
Oh, did he?
He did. He's now going into the portal. And
weird. I don't see that on ESPN.
Look at On3, a recruiting website. Now, here's my question for you. Do you know who the Georgia secondary coach was Carson Beck's first 2 years at Georgia?
Fran Brown.
Ah, there we go. And it all works out. Carson Beck.
Do you want Carson Beck?
No, I don't want this guy at all. Carson Beck reminds me of having Aaron Rodgers this year, a guy that just can't make the throws anymore. And he's only 22. I got spoiled. I get it. I got Colin McCord. I was spoiled this year. I was. I'm not sure we'll get that again at Syracuse University, but you know what? A 10-win season I got.
10 you did. Congratulations on the big bowl win.
And a top 20 probable ranking by the end of the year. Top 20.
Certainly at the forefront of everybody's mind was, geez, what a great run Syracuse football had.
Yeah, that is what everybody was saying. No, that was not
nobody ever.
Nobody was saying. Well, not ever, just not this year.
Not this millennium.
Definitely not this millennium. That is certainly true. Okay, so we have two games going on: Ohio State versus Texas in the Cotton Bowl, and we have Penn State and Notre Dame. Your thoughts on those two games, sir?
Ohio State's is playing the best of anyone in the country right now. Absolutely annihilated Tennessee. Oregon didn't make it out of the first quarter. Texas did not look impressive, to say the least, against Arizona State. And were outplayed for literally 50 of the 65 minutes that were played.
Sure.
Really, except the first 4 minutes, they were outplayed.
Yeah.
Realize it's in Texas. I don't think it matters. Ohio State probably has more talent than either of our professional teams at this point. I'll go with Ohio State. I'd say 36-23.
So I really don't recall who I picked to play in this game. But I will agree with you. I think Ohio State, and I think we're going to see Ohio State and Penn State again. And as I said from the very beginning, I believe that Penn State is going to win themselves a national championship. I know you don't agree with me.
I don't, but I think that this has also been a really good matchup for them. if Carter can play tonight, which I think they're expecting him to, who's the best player on Penn State, the defensive lineman who's going to go top 10.
To the Jets with number 7 in all likelihood.
Possibly. As opposed to the Giants, who we have no clue what they're going to do. There's only one thing I want them not to do. What do I not want them to do?
Pick a quarterback.
No, I don't mind them picking a quarterback. What do I not want them to do?
Trade the pick?
Don't trade up.
Oh, don't trade up. They're not trading up.
If either we get one of the 2 quarterbacks or we get Travis Hunter or Will Johnson, I'm fine with any of it.
Okay, but we're talking about something else. So let's continue.
Okay.
First, so
I will also take Penn State. I'm not nowhere close to as confident as you are. I think it's 27-23, 27-24. I think Notre Dame is very much in this game.
So I will tell you, the only reason I have known that any of these games have existed is I wake up the next morning and say, "Oh, the game was played last night." That is where I'm at in sports right now. Is I am 6 hours in the other direction, so I'm always behind, like way behind. It in some ways it's quite funny. In that I wake up and I'm like, oh, well, I forgot to put in my picks for yesterday. That was last night. Or, oh, that whole entire thing. My friends are right now saying in Texas, going to see if any cheap Cotton Bowl tickets since they got 4 inches of snow in Dallas today.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So some people are not getting to the games, right? Because I'm not sure that.
Well, I was just those southern schools are not quite equipped for the snow.
Well, they're lucky it's being played inside. Could you imagine that game being played outside in Dallas?
I think that would be fantastic. I think that'd be great.
Well, Ohio State would obviously have a little bit more of an edge in that one than Texas. So, all right. So your take is that it's going to be Ohio State and Penn State. My take as well.
I agree.
All right. And if I'm correct, and I'm not sure I am, those 2 schools, besides the quarterback for Ohio State, are basically homegrown schools. They're not transferred.
No, the star running back. I'm just trying to think through. The star.
You got Ohio State's quarterback, right?
Yeah, Will Howard's from Kansas State.
Right.
Trayvon, I think it's Henderson, is from Mississippi State, I believe, or Ole Miss, one of the 2. The 2 stud receivers are homegrown.
Right.
The defense, the best player, JT, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, is homegrown. Penn State is Allard. The 2 running backs, I don't know if they are. Tyler Warren, I think, is. But yeah, I mean, they haven't been I don't think they've been massively involved in the transfer portal.
And if you look at Texas also not massively in that transfer portal. I'm just thinking if there's a corollary here where homegrown players, where you have the chance to, now granted, they're top 50 recruits, right? These guys are really good to start. And where are you transferring in general out of Ohio State anyway, except if you're Kyle McCord. But
right, well, you're going to a lower school typically because you can't hack it.
So you're not getting those players that are transferring out of Ohio State or Penn State. So there aren't places for other people to come in. I'm just saying I think there may be something to this. Hey, maybe the transfer portal is great for some schools, but for the top echelon schools, it may not work. It may not be what you're looking at.
No,
and then you have the opposite in Clemson, right? Then you have Clemson that won't take a transfer and has been killed for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, they ended up 10-3 or 10-4. They had a decent year, but yeah, they're not the Clemson of 5-6 years ago. Right. No, I think typically what happens is you have the real superstars who transfer up.
Yep.
Everyone, but it's more like, so you have like the Power Five, the Group of 5 conferences.
Yep.
And they transfer up to the Power 4 conferences. But just because they're transferring up doesn't mean they're going to Ohio State, to Penn State, to Oregon. There may be a few, but a lot of times they're trying to transferring into the middle tier ones and seeing where they go
Right.
from there.
Yep. I get that. It's just a matter of I'm wondering whether, and again, you're talking about the top 5, top 10 schools in the nation. So you're generally getting that talent anyway. You don't need to transfer that talent. You're getting it as a freshman, right?
Yeah.
You're getting the Arch Mannings.
Ohio State, think about it. Think about who the quarterbacks that have transferred out of Ohio State. Joe Burrow, Quinn Ewers. I think Aaron Nolan, who was like the number 2 prospect in the country last year, is transferring out. There's 2 more like top 50, top 5 quarterbacks that are going to Ohio State next year.
Yeah.
I wonder, there's a big article about whether Todd Day should, even if they win the title, should just say, I'll take this job and shove it.
I think he should, but where is he going to get another job?
Anywhere he wants. I think the question is, because he was getting absolutely obliterated, as was his family, about the loss to Michigan. And
yeah, but I guess the point is, where is there to go? Not, and maybe I said it incorrectly. Where is he going to get a job? But where is he going to get a job that pushes him to where he is today? There aren't any other. There are 10 other jobs that will get him the talent.
Well, first of all, there's a good chance he goes pro. I don't think he's going to do it because I don't think he's going to get nice. He could be your new coach.
Sure. Let's go down that road again.
Well, we'll get to there in a minute.
It's been such a great road to go down. Anyway, no, I guess my point is simple, right? Is how many other jobs get him to the place where he is right now? I don't know of many or any. That are open. Alabama's not open. By the way, kudos to Alabama for losing again to Michigan and wiping that whole discussion off the board. Thank you.
Not only did they lose, Miami lost, South Carolina lost. Everybody can STFU.
Kirk Herbstreit can shut up now.
STFU, yeah. Now they can say they weren't motivated. They can say this or that, but
that's fine.
Yeah,
as my brother says, lose less than 3 games, please, and then you have an argument. Because now you lost 4 and you have none whatsoever. But yeah, but let's play this out, right? So if he stays in college, how many coaching jobs are on the level of Ohio State? How many? 5? Maybe?
Just thinking off the top of my head, Michigan, Alabama, Texas, Georgia, maybe LSU. That's about all I got. Maybe Oregon.
So you got 6, 7?
Maybe. I said maybe. I'm not really. Yeah. Maybe Notre Dame.
And I'm not even sure LSU is there, by the way, right now.
Fair enough.
If you want to talk about like money, well, you throw A&M in there, right? If you just
you can't just throw money in. That's where you have to throw some prestige. A&M hasn't been relevant in 25 years.
Right, which is why Florida's not in there, which is why Florida State's not in there. Because 10 years ago, they would be in that cachet. Both of them.
Yes.
So there's 5, 6, 7 jobs maybe, and he's not getting any of those because those aren't open.
I don't think LSU is going to eat Brian Kelly's contract at this point. So no.
Marcus Freeman's not going anywhere.
No.
Right? Sarkisian's not going anywhere.
Nope.
James Franklin's not going anywhere, even if you included Penn State in that list, which you did not. Oregon's coach Dan Lamming. Am I getting that right?
You are.
Look at me. Look at me with that poll right there. He's not going anywhere. Yeah, there's no spot. So you're right. The only place he could go would be to the pros. And I have not heard one peep of him.
Maybe coordinator.
Right. Okay. That doesn't get you what you need. I don't think it gets you what you need.
I also don't think you're walking away from $9 million a year.
No, unless you're walking into $9 million a year. That's what I was trying to get.
You're not walking into as an assistant coach.
No, not one bit. Not one bit. Okay. So we can say that we did not win the fantasy football league this year.
We did not.
We did not.
We did not make a dime this year.
Not one? No, we did. We didn't win 1 week.
Oh, I forgot we got paid for a week, but we ended up in 4th.
Oh, would third have gotten us some money? I didn't even realize. Okay.
So.
In any event, we did not do well this year.
No, we had a good year. We lost to Jonathan Taylor.
Yep. And who was the other running back? There were two of them that we lost to. It was Taylor and somebody else. But Taylor puts up like 43 points in the 1 week that he puts up 43 points, and we are screwed. Yep. So
and it was my brilliant idea to start Michael Penix over Bryce Young. By the way, do we consider keeping Bryce Young?
No. You know why? He's not on our team anymore.
Oh, we dropped him.
To get Penix.
Okay. Well.
But I will tell you, there are rumors circulating right now that DK Metcalf is on the block. And
I've heard that as well.
Does get traded. We are protecting Jax Smith-Njigba. 100%. 100%. We may protect him anyway, but we're definitely protecting him if he gets traded. And in my opinion, he will, because they don't want to get rid of Tyler Lockett. He's like Seattle's golden boy.
Yeah, but no, I think this is the last year of Lockett in Seattle.
No, I think if they can trade Metcalf, they'll re-sign Lockett as the number 2.
He plays a very similar game to Smith-Njigba. I don't think that's the match for him. I think they're pretty much under the impression this was the last year for Lockett.
Well, I did see that as well. So we probably both read the same article on The Athletic about it. So, yeah. So, but we do have some choices to make. I think one choice has already been made for us. Presuming good health in Derrick Henry, Derrick Henry will be back with our team.
He will.
At a very high price, but still worth the very high price. The other two, well, we'll see where Sam Darnold winds up, because if it's anywhere but Minnesota, then we have a starting quarterback in J.J. McCarthy or Daniel Jones. Never know. And then our third pick will obviously be something that we'll have to discuss over. We have 8 months to decide this. 6 months.
Yeah. But it is amazing how anticlimactic Week 18 is when you have no fantasy and your team stink.
That's why you play a 5-leg parlay for $20, which I did.
How'd you do?
My first bet, I got 4 out of 5.
What'd you lose?
I lost Mike Evans on 100 yards. He had 89.
You weren't close.
No. So I had Evans with plus 100. I had Geno with plus 225. I had Jahmyr Gibbs with plus 80. Cortland Sutton with plus 100. And who was the other one? No, that's 5. That's what I had. Those 5. It was Gibbs, Sutton, Evans, Smith. Wait, now I'm confused. But anyway, needless to say, I lost because on the first one, let's see here. So I had so $20. Oh, I had Joe Burrow plus 275, and he had 284. So I got 4 out of 5. It was a 10-1 shot. If I had won, I would have won $220 on my $20 bet. I have decided now that I will do a 5-leg parlay every week 18 because my teams will never be in it. There will be no fantasy league, and I will be out of my pick'em leagues. So a $20 5-leg parlay. I actually invite you to join me in a 5-leg parlay on week 18.
On December 31st, 2025. So your season is over.
Oh, thank God.
What are who do you hope to hire for GM and coach? And who do you think your quarterback will be in 2025?
Okay. So this is my hope. This will not happen. My hope is I want Louis Riddick as my GM. You and I both want Louis Riddick as our GMs.
Yeah.
And
has he been a talking head too long?
Maybe. But if I had to pick a coach, it would be Mike Vrabel. And I also know that's not going to happen either.
No.
Mike Vrabel will be introduced as the head coach of the New England Patriots within the next week.
Agreed.
There's no doubt in my mind.
So Vrabel gone. You're interviewing 37 people, as far as I can tell. You may be flown in for an interview at this point.
If I was flown in for an interview, that would be a very expensive flight. I mean, I'm not just up the road anymore. I mean, this is an international flight. I'd have to go through customs. Okay. Look, my pipe dream is Ben Johnson. He ain't coming to New York either.
No, because you have no quarterbacks. Your quarterback situation's a mess.
And it wouldn't matter anyway. If you're Ben Johnson, are you coming to New York? Why? Why would you come to New York? Why would you put yourself in that situation? Either for the Jets or the Giants. Why would you do it? They're bad teams. They're in bad. Look, you could say New York is a good market. It is a good market for the concept of a market. But remember, in the NFL, it doesn't matter. You don't get better players because you live in New York. The salary cap is the salary cap. This isn't baseball.
Correct.
This isn't basketball where you can go above the cap. The cap is the cap. Aaron Rodgers, if he got $40 million from the Detroit Lions, got $40 million from the Idaho Stampede, or got $20 million from the New York Jets, would have gone to the Idaho Stampede for $40 million. It wouldn't have mattered. So I would love to get Ben Johnson. That's not happening. So let's presume Ben Johnson's off the board too. I have zero idea. None. There's nobody that excites me. Nobody.
Riverboat Ron doesn't excite you?
No. First of all, I want an offensive guy. I've had enough of the defensive guys. That's why Aaron Glenn does not excite me at all. Maybe Todd Moken?
From Baltimore?
I mean, I don't want Josh McCown at all. I mean, I don't think he has enough. I think he's Gerard Mayo again, where just not enough experience to do it. I mean, if you're looking at other coordinators, there's no. I mean, look, put a gun to my head. The guy that I would want would be John Gruden. He wins. All I want is a winner. I don't care if he's an asshole. I really don't. I want a winner. I want to win. Which is why when you get to my next question, which you're ultimately going to ask me who my quarterback is, I'm going to say it's Aaron Rodgers. I believe my quarterback will be Aaron Rodgers next year. And you're like stunned, I think.
Well, what's the dead cap hit?
The dead cap hit. Hold on. Dead cap hit on Aaron Rodgers. He signed a 3-year, blah, 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 blah. Hold on. I'm getting it up using our lovely Spotrack. Remember when this used to be like we had to guess this stuff? And now we don't have to guess anything. We can just look it up. Hold on. Looking up. Internet is slow, but looking it up. Man, a lot of people must be using Spotrac today. A lot of people must be having this exact same conversation. I don't know why they would have the same conversation, but they're having it. Okay, here we go. So this is over the cap. So if 2025, so his cap number last year was 17 million. His cap number next year will be 23 million. His dead money cap pre June 1st is 49.
Oh,
And post June 1st, which is what they would do, they would hold him. It would be 14 this year and 9 next year. And then they'd have dead cap for the next couple of years. So, I mean, but the thing is, he's guaranteed. He's got no guaranteed money. Like they can cut him without paying him anything. It's just dead
right,
money.
but they have dead money. They just have dead money.
Right, they have dead money. And the question is whether you are getting anything better. Where are you getting something better? And if you can't get something better, first of all, they definitely have to, if they want to keep Devontae Adams, they have to renegotiate with him. They come as a package deal. And that may be the biggest problem of all, is because Garrett Wilson, you are not re-signing Garrett Wilson if you have Devontae Adams on this team. So are you going with your young guy, or are you going with the package of Rodgers and Adams? I don't know. I mean, you asked me this a month ago, and I said there's no way Aaron Rodgers would be on this team. And now, but that's when I thought we'd get like the 3rd pick in the draft. Now we're at the 7th pick in the draft. And I will tell you who may be the quarterback, the Penn State guy.
Growler?
Yep. I can see the Giants picking him too, by the way, if he comes out. So
he hasn't said anything about coming out, but to be fair, it probably hasn't been his main priority the last couple of months.
All right, so let me ask you the same questions, knowing that you still have a GM and a coach. A, are you happy with this?
We'll get through, ask all the questions, and I'll take one at a time.
Okay, B, are you happy with A, and are you happy with B? A being general manager, B being coach. C, will you draft a quarterback? And D, if you don't draft a quarterback, who will be your quarterback next year?
Okay. Am I happy? No. I don't think you have a plan, number one. Number two, the problem is if you fire Shane, I think you have to fire. If you fire Shane, I think you have to fire Dable.
100%.
Because no one wants to bring in a GM where the coach is entrenched after going 3-14.
100%.
I think the thought process is next year is going to be a lost year also. And maybe you want to bring someone in after we know next year is a mess.
Okay.
Because by that point we hopefully will either A, have our quarterback going forward, or B, we will, in a much stronger quarterback draft, we'll have the opportunity to take somebody.
Oh, we know who you want to take.
No, I don't. I don't want him. I find the whole thing effing ridiculous.
You don't want Arch?
No.
Okay.
Can Arch play a full game of college football before he becomes the second coming? What have been my thoughts on Eli for the last 25 years, Sean?
I know your thoughts on Eli. He's an overrated quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, Arch, look, his pedigree is fantastic. But that doesn't mean I'm literally throwing away 2 years to go get him.
Okay. So
I think our quarterback next year is Cam Ward.
So you're drafting the quarterback this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Cleveland doesn't go quarterback. I think one of the two teams, because as you said, this is not a Trevor Lawrence draft. This is not a Andrew Luck draft. This is not a Baker Mayfield and the four other guy, Jackson, Allen, Darnold draft. I don't think anyone is overwhelmingly jonesing for these two guys.
By the way, can we reflect back on that draft and say that the number 7 pick after the first 3 quarterbacks is the best one, and then the number 1 pick who has been traded or released 3 times is the second one? And then the rest
because the number 30 pick is better than all of them.
Oh, well, there you go. 30 is not better than Allen.
Lamar?
I don't think Lamar's better than Allen.
You could make the argument.
Okay. So 30 is best, right? In the draft of the quarterback. Let's use what you said. 30 is first, 7th is second, 1 is third after being traded or released 3 times. Then we go to number 3. Then we go to number 4.
No, not number 4.
11. Number 11 was Allen. It was Rosen. Right. So 1 is 3.
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn.
Einhorn, yeah. And by the way, the Panthers, who had to redraft a quarterback at number 1, had number 1 and number 3 at the same time on that team.
And now both of them may be Pro Bowlers in other teams.
Right. If not all pros.
No.
Sam Darnold may be a second or third team all pro.
No.
Oh, the stats.
Allen, Jackson, Burrow. 1, 2, 3. Everybody else is below them. You didn't see Darnold's performance against Detroit.
I don't need to. Darnold this year throws for 35 touchdowns and 12 interceptions.
He's been great.
With 4,300 yards. Okay? Let's go. Let's look at Mr. Burrow. Okay? 4,300, 35, and 12. Oh, yeah, he threw for more yards. I didn't think he threw for more yards. 4,900, 43, and 9. Okay, my bad. This is what you get for not watching the last 2 weeks of the season. Where
what was funny was if you saw our quarterbacks in Week 18 killed it. Gino had like 320 and 4. Aaron had like 304.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about a Miami team that had no interest in being there. I guess when you have Carson Wentz starting for Kansas City, when you need them to win to have a chance, not overly motivating.
And kudos to Sean Payton. Kudos to Sean Payton on taking and George Patton, the GM, taking the risk on Bo Nix and coming through. I mean, that was a risky pick. At least I saw it as a risky pick. And they saw a guy that they wanted, and they're in the playoffs, which proves that any team could make it to they're in the playoffs with a $47 million cap hit for a guy that's playing in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
So miracles can happen. Like, that's just basically what that is. And kudos to Jim Harbaugh, too, on a great season. I mean, on a legitimately turning that team around, and now has Ezekiel Elliott as perhaps his starting running back, which I find amazing.
Yeah, it's just weird.
All right. So we have some playoffs coming up.
Playoffs. You talking about playoffs?
So NFL playoff grid, and we should probably get our bracket in place for where we believe teams are going to be. So wildcard weekend this weekend, we have the Chargers at the Texans. I will let you go first, and then I will flip the next game. So Chargers at Texans.
I have absolutely no confidence in the Texans. They're the worst division winner in football this year. Their division was horrendous. CJ Stroud's taken a step back. I will go with the tougher team. I'll go with the Chargers.
Yeah, no doubt. The Chargers, no. I think Tank Dell being really hurt, not just hurt, like really hurt. We saw that, right? That has hurt them tremendously. Stefan Diggs being hurt. All they have is John McKinney and who's the other wide receiver? They have one other.
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins. Okay, so I'll take on the Steelers at the Ravens. It was nice, Russell Wilson. It was nice, but it's over.
It must have been low, but it's over now.
It's over, and I think, quite frankly, his tenure in Pittsburgh may be over. Like I think it was nice while it lasted, but he's not a long-term solution for that team, and
No.
so I think this may be the last game of. I think they may re-sign Justin Fields, but I don't think they're going to re-sign Russell Wilson. So I will take the Ravens going away. I mean, like 15 to 20 points.
I agree. I have no confidence in the Pittsburgh offense whatsoever. George Pickens is complaining as usual again. They've lost 4 in a row. They backed their way into the playoffs. I think teams are relieved to see them and not Cincinnati there.
Deontay Johnson is to George Pickens as George Pickens is to Tyreek Hill.
And the beat goes on.
Okay. Your selection, Broncos at Bills.
Broncos have had a nice season.
Yep.
That's about really all I need to say. They're not beating Buffalo in Buffalo with a rookie quarterback.
Let me ask you this. So I agree with you. But there's always one surprise, right? There's always one surprise in Wild Card Weekend. And I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. This is the surprise that I would pick, if any of them. Like, big surprise. I don't think they're beating them in Buffalo either. But I don't think Buffalo's a great team. I don't even think they're a really, really good team. I think they're a good team with a great quarterback that has brought them forward. But if I put Buffalo against the Ravens, Buffalo's an underdog. If I put Buffalo against the Chargers, I'd probably pick Buffalo just because I don't.
Yeah, who are you kidding?
I believe in the Chargers, but the fact is, Buffalo's a 2 seed. I don't see them as a 2 seed. I don't see them. I don't see them having wideouts. I don't see.
They don't have the talent,
right?
That Baltimore has. But can I tell you the truth? Either does Kansas City. Baltimore is the most offensively talented team in the NFL.
Correct. But if I was going to put a healthy Buffalo Bill team in this playoffs, are they more talented than the Vikings? I don't think so. Are they more talented than the Rams? I don't think so. Are they more talented than the Commanders? I don't know. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know. Show me a wide receiver that's on with McLaurin. Show me a running back that's on with Brian Robinson.
First of all, you would take James Cook over Brian.
James Cook? Okay. But
would I take Amari Cooper over Terry McLaurin? No.
No. Cooper didn't even play the last 2 weeks.
Yes, but he'll be playing this week. I would take Kincaid over Ertz. I mean, I can't compare offensive lines. We've talked about this before.
Okay, are you taking a healthy Eagles over a healthy Bills?
But the Eagles aren't healthy.
Are you taking a healthy Packers over a healthy Bill? But the thing is, neither are the Bills.
Okay, let me ask you a question. How did the Bills went 13-4?
Yep.
Did they luck into 13-4? You luck into 10-7. You don't luck into 13-4. Now their division wasn't great.
Their division was awful.
I said their division wasn't great.
Yeah, I know, but I'll go down another peg. Their division was downright awful.
You're playing in Buffalo in December and January.
No, I
That is
get
a
it.
brutal game.
All right, so let's go through the Bills' schedule, shall we? They beat the Cardinals in week 1, 34-20.
Fine.
Okay? It's a decent win. They beat the Dolphins 31-10. They beat the Jaguars 47-10. None of those are good wins.
Where was the Miami game?
At Miami. Don't care. 31-10.
That's not
Don't
no.
care.
That's not a bad. That's a good win. 21 points in Miami.
Okay. They got crushed by the Ravens 35-10. Okay? They lost to the Texans 23-20. Okay? They beat the Jets. That's not a good win. They beat the Titans. That's not a good win. At Seattle's a good win, 31-10. Okay? They beat Miami at home 30-27. They beat the Colts away 30-20. Not a good win. They beat the Chiefs at home 30-21. Good win. Okay, so that's 2. They beat the Niners 35-10 without Brock Purdy and without Christian McCaffrey. That's a decent win, and it's at home. Okay? They lost to the Rams at the Rams. They beat the Lions at the Lions. That's a good win. That was the
They beat the crap out of them, if I remember correctly.
They won 48-42.
No, they were dominating the game.
Right, and then the Lions came all the way back. Yeah.
They were winning the game pretty easily. Okay.
Then they beat New England twice. No, they lost to New England once, but that doesn't count.
Thank you, by the way. Appreciate that.
The Jets. So they have 2 to 3 good wins. Good wins.
But wait a second here. Who has better wins than the team over the 15-1 Chiefs and the 14-2 Lions? Like, what is a better win than that?
I get it.
Like, what are you looking for? You want that they beat a 9-7 team? Okay. Do you think they would beat the Steelers?
Yes.
What you're seeing is you're seeing a team without a star player other than Allen.
Yes.
And you're not figuring why are they winning these games?
Yes.
Because they have more continuity and cohesion since Diggs left.
Okay. And I guess but then they didn't need Amari Cooper to begin with, and they got him anyway.
Well, you need somebody.
I guess. I like I said, if there is an upset, and I don't know what the weather is in Buffalo this week, and that should be.
Considering what the weather is here, I'm going to safely assume it's bleeping cold.
It's cold.
It's
all right.
cold.
So Sunday, the high is 0, and the low is -2.
There you go.
With snow showers.
There you go.
Okay. All right, fine. They're not going in there and winning that game. That's fine. Fair enough. Like I said, I just want to see – maybe I just want to see a convincing win this week out of them. Like a really convincing win. Okay. Packers at Eagles. Packers lose Christian Watson to torn ACL. Jordan Love may or may not play. I don't care if the Eagles are on their 4th-string quarterback. They're beating this team.
I think so. I think the Packers win the game.
Wow.
That is mine.
Okay.
I have Jalen Hurts is in concussion protocol.
No, he practiced.
He's okay, but he was in protocol as of yesterday. So I don't know if he practiced. I don't know. Just because you practice, I don't know. Does that mean you're out of protocol?
I think so. Anyway, okay, continue on.
I find this team discombobulated a little bit. I think this may be the end. If this happens, I think this is the end of Sirianni.
Oh, I agree with that wholeheartedly. So, all right. Jalen Hurts, according to Delaware Online, because, yes, I'm using Delaware Online, went through another practice Thursday, another indication he could be cleared out of the NFL's concussion protocol in time to play. So it doesn't mean he has yet. Jordan Love may not play either, by the way. Sure. He hurt himself. If there's the upset, to me, it's the next game. I think the Commanders pull it off against the Bucs.
That's an upset.
It's a 6-3.
Whoopty. That's not an upset. Who has a better record?
Doesn't matter.
You're asking for an upset. That's not an upset.
Okay.
That's a
No,
3. What's the spread on the game?
I don't know. Mike, I will look it up. Hold on. Spread, Bucks, and Commanders. By the way, an upset is a lower seed over a higher seed.
Yeah,
That is
that's
a
not a
lower
real
seed.
upset.
All I said. Tampa is a 3-point favorite, by the way. So yes, that, my friend, is an upset. By definition,
Are you going to pick UConn to go? The UConn women to go to the Final Four? Is that they may be a 2 seed? Is that an upset also? Because there's a 1 seed that's better.
No, because they're not going to play the 1 seed in the finals, so there wouldn't be an upset.
Okay, I'll go with Tampa. That should be a fun game.
Yeah, I think I'll be sleeping in that game too. Those are 8 o'clock. Of
course it will be. It'll be like 4 o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock. That's 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh. What game can I watch? Oh, these are Sunday too. So I'll be on a plane. I may actually be able to get that game. I'll be on a plane overnight on Sunday. Okay, Monday I'll be able to watch. I'll be back on Eastern time. The Vikings at the Rams. Oh, so you're picking the Bucks, right? You said you were picking the Bucks? Yes? Hello?
Yeah, I said yes. Yes.
Okay. Vikings at home against the Rams. Vikings on the road against the Rams. The Vikings, for losing weeks 18, have to go on the road at 14-2. Oh boy, or 14-3.
This is the best wild card game. Period.
You think so?
Oh, I think this is great. I think it's a great game.
You got a lot more confidence in those Rams than I do. I'm picking the Vikes over the Rams. I don't have any confidence in the Rams.
I do. I think the Rams rested just about everybody last week. And they're good. They've rebuilt so well, so quick. I'm going to take the Vikings, but it's a toss-up game for me.
Okay. And I believe then we have the 2 bye weeks. I always forget that the NFL does reseed or does not reseed.
They do reseed. I think they do reseed.
Okay. Yeah, so we don't know who game 2 and game 3 is.
Well, we would. I mean, it would be the Chiefs versus. Maybe they don't. I thought it was.
They don't reseed. So
okay.
Wait. Right. So the Chiefs will play the winner of the Texans versus the Chargers.
I'll take the Chiefs.
Yeah. And then we're going to see the Ravens versus, you think, the Bills. I agree. The Ravens versus the Bills.
I think that's an awesome game.
That's the best game. that's a better game than the Chiefs involved. I think that's a fantastic game. And in the NFC, we'd have the 2-3, which would be the Eagles or Packers against the Bucks or Commanders. Okay. Or we'll have Detroit against either the Rams or the Vikings again. That's a better game.
Those are both really good games.
Those are both really good games. Okay. So we got 10 minutes left. I'm going to say I am very happy that I am a Knicks fan right now, as it gives me something to root for. They are playing incredibly well, despite the fact that they lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder the other night. Have you watched any NBA? Have you paid any attention?
A little bit. I actually watched part of the Cavs Thunder game last night.
Oh, which the Cavs pulled out.
They did.
And they have established themselves as really one of those top teams. Maybe not a playoff team. They still have to prove themselves in the playoffs, but at least regular season, they're going to win the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. They're 32-4, 6 games up in the loss column on Boston.
Yeah. And they're probably only going to have one All-Star.
Who's my coach?
Who's your coach? Oh, that's Kenny Atkinson, baby.
Love it. Love the guy.
Love the guy.
Love the guy.
Love the guy. Love the guy. All they need is Spencer Dinwiddie on that team, and they're a championship team. Just mark it down. Spencer Dinwiddie.
I
Jimmy
got his
Butler.
bobble. I have his bobblehead. Just I don't
Jimmy
have it here.
Butler. Jimmy Butler. Okay. This is our last topic, and then we'll do our last 5. Jimmy Butler, 7-game suspension, which includes 1 game at home and then a 6-game road trip. Is he A, traded by the end of the suspension, B, traded by the deadline, C, traded in the offseason, or D, continues on with the Miami Heat for next year, or E, opts out and becomes a free agent?
D.
Sorry, what was it? D?
D. They're not. Pat Riley is not a guy who's forced into trading people.
So you think he's going to stay on the team, opt into next year?
I think he's not going to get anywhere near the contract he thinks he's going to get. I think he thinks he's getting a 3-year, $150 million deal. It's not happening.
Nope. Not. I agree, especially with Paul George doing what Paul George is doing right now.
So, in my mind, Riley's not trading him unless it is a deal that is so good. And no one's going to offer enough to make it. He's Pat freaking Riley. Simply put, he's Pat Riley. He does what he wants. He's earned and has carte blanche.
Yep.
And no, when LeBron James when Wade wanted out, he didn't try to re-sign him. Like he doesn't take crap from anybody. And he's certainly not going to take crap from Jimmy Butler. I think he stays unless they get a great deal for him, which they're not going to get. And then he's going to look around and say, geez, there's really nothing better out there. Might as well make my $50 million for 1 more year here and live in Miami. Who do you think is going to trade for him, Sean?
So I think that there are a couple of teams that could, right? And that have the resources to do it. First of all, I don't think anybody's taking on that Bradley Beal contract. So I don't think Phoenix is in the game. Okay. The one team that could do it, and I'm not sure they would, and I'm not sure that Pat Riley would want what they're giving back, is the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento Kings could position a trade around DeMar DeRozan, who got $25 million. They'd obviously have to add some stuff to that. The Golden State Warriors could also do it and add Kuminga and Andrew Wiggins and make that. But Wiggins has another year on that contract, and it really depends on how much Pat Riley likes Jonathan Kuminga, because guess what? He's up for a contract extension after this year too. So, or alternatively, how many draft choices certain teams are going to give up to route those players to other places? So let's presume that Detroit is part of this situation, or your Brooklyn Nets, right, who have cap room, right? And they don't want Andrew Wiggins. He's not in their timeline. But let's say that Golden State is willing to give up a first-round pick to attach with Andrew Wiggins, so you will take him for 1 more year or buy him out. I think the Nets would listen if that's what it took. So then they're absorbing that cost, and Riley only has to deal with Jonathan Kuminga or something along those lines. But that means that State is giving up Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, and the first-round pick to get Jimmy Butler. And I'm not sure they're willing to do that either. But that's the type of – or Pazinski, like in that trade. That's the type of deal would need to be made. Do I think that offer is out there? I think the Kings would do it. I don't think Riley will take it. That's the difference. So I think right now they're in a wait and see as to, hey, we got all the crap offers. Now let's bring on the offers, right? This guy is obviously a talent. I just think this is Jimmy being Jimmy, or Jamie Foxx being Jamie Foxx, because that's what he looks like. And yeah. All right. Last 5 minutes. I will go first. Pete Alonso, congratulations on getting representation of Scott Boras. who just said, he's had it for a while, who just said that we should compare you to Prince Fielder and Prince Fielder's contract, which happened in 2012, which was an 8-year, $214 million contract, of which he retired 4 years into the contract due to injuries and had to be traded to the Rangers because the Tigers didn't want that contract to begin with after 3 years. Oh, yeah, that's a selling point. We're going to compare you to Prince Fielder, who broke down after 4 years and was 28 when he started the contract, and you're 30. Pete, I want you back in a Met uniform. I do. But I don't see how this works unless you're willing to take something small, shorter, with more opt-outs, maybe 3 years and 90. If you're looking for that $200 million contract, truth be told, I hope you're waiting a while. But I can understand that you got insulted that Juan Soto got like $800 million. Okay, you're up.
I'm looking to see. Hold on a second. When was the last time we hosted a show?
Before Christmas.
Did we talk about Ricky? We did.
We did not. Next week we'll talk about Ricky.
We'll leave Ricky for next week.
We'll leave Ricky for next week because Ricky was on the list of best living players when we discussed it when Willie Mays passed away. And now we have to discuss who's the best living player again. Because it
with
was
steroids or without.
Choose your own poison, my friend. Choose your own poison.
It's been a frustrating sports year to say the least, but at least I got to have one saving grace where I got to take my son to a Maryland-Syracuse game. And we sat in the box and watched Penn State SMU on the TV across. I don't remember ever going to a game where a team lost by 35 and probably should have lost by more.
Yes, you do. It was the Otto Porter game.
They didn't lose by 35. They only scored 35. Of course, Maryland hasn't won a real game since then, but neither here nor there. So, little dude, I hope every Maryland game you go to is as much fun as that, and you have a Syracuse fan sitting next to you that just gets angrier and angrier. There is nothing better.
Oh, boy. All right. For Seth Kamens, I'm Sean Palmer. We'll see you all next week from Columbia. See ya.
And Livingston.
And Livingston. See ya. Bye, everybody.